80s kids are pissing their pants right now. This is the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition Deluxe Set. Yeah, a little bit of a mouthful there. Yeah, this is the deluxe physical edition of the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition game, which released on July 18th, 2024, to many people's surprise. Yeah, this game wasn't actually announced in any formal like Nintendo Direct or any sort of presentation like that. This game was actually leaked by the ESRB, or specifically what I remember is that one day there was just like a product page on, I believe, Best Buy's website for a game titled Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. And then everyone just kind of figured, oh, there's probably a game with that title coming out. And then yeah, I want to say like a week later, they came out with a trailer on Nintendo's official YouTube channel for the game. Yeah. Here it is. Figured we'd do a little bit of an unboxing today of this deluxe set because, you know, when I saw that this was coming out, I pretty much knew as a Nintendo fan, I immediately wanted it. Nintendo actually doesn't really do like these sort of big box physical editions of their games anymore. At least not really for the Switch generation. I never really bought like the collector's editions of a lot of their bigger physical released games. I didn't get the physical collector's edition for the Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or any games like that. Those are the only two off the top of my head that I know for sure had collector's editions. Oh, I think a couple Fire Emblem games had collector's editions or something like that. Anyway, I don't typically get those. I just usually just get like the normal standard retail edition of the game. But with this specific game, I knew I wanted to get this deluxe set. And that's not even considering the fact that I think this might actually currently be the only way that you can purchase the physical edition of the game, at least at the time that I'm recording this video. But this has a couple cool little knickknacks and doodads that I knew I wanted to get my hands on. But really quick, before we actually get into what's inside this box, let's talk about why this box exists. So the Nintendo World Championships were an event that originally took place in the 90s, and they've actually taken place a couple times since then. But the original one, the one that I believe this specific game was based on, was in the 90s. And essentially it was a Nintendo-held competition, an official competition held by Nintendo, that featured a bunch of, professional gamers facing off against each other in a bunch of challenges based on a couple games from the original NES. I believe off the top of my head, it was the original Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, and Rad Racer. Don't really know much about that last game, but yeah, those were the three games. So you had a platformer, a puzzle game, and a racing game. Makes sense to me. But yeah, and basically the winner of this competition, or I believe actually there were a couple winners, but the winners of the competition would get like a bunch of money and then like a cool couple pieces of swag from Nintendo on top of it. It was cool. They actually got one of the original winners from that 90s championships event to appear in the announcement trailer for the game. But yeah, like I said earlier, they did do this a couple other times. I believe they did this in 2015 for Nintendo's E3 event, and they did this in 2017, I think, for the release of Super Mario Odyssey. And if it wasn't for Super Mario Odyssey, it was at least held around the time of that game's release. But yeah, this game is based on that original 1990 championships event. And, at least based on concept alone, I think it's pretty cool. The event actually featured the competitors playing off of specific cartridges that were, sort of modded by Nintendo to, play in succession so that way they could be, used for this championships event. It was actually pretty cool. I can't imagine how much money those specific cartridges go for nowadays because, obviously, they made a limited amount of them. So, to get your hands on one of those original cartridges from the 90s, it would be insane. This is actually pretty interesting because this is sort of a combination of, the challenges that Nintendo had in that original, World Championships event and challenges that you would see on the old NES remix games from the Wii U of all consoles. Yeah, so originally on the Wii U, Nintendo put out these a series of games. It only featured 2 games, but still, technically a series, in which you would do little bite-sized challenges based on, basically every major NES game. And it was actually pretty cool. I remember getting both the original NES Remix and NES Remix 2 on my Wii U, And they were great little games to play when I was waiting for dear God anything to actually release as a physical game on the Wii U. It actually ended up releasing on the 3DS as well later in that generation as Ultimate NES Remix. But I'll always remember playing them on the Wii U because it was one of the few like exclusive digital Wii U games that was like Nintendo made that I at least played. But yeah, not only does this box contain that specific game, but it also has a couple of other little goodies. Let's take a look at the back of the box here. Test your skills against the world. But yeah, this is actually playable competitively online and locally, which is pretty cool. I believe up to 8 people can play at once. Against each other in this game. Oh yeah, it says that right here. And you can play it online, which is pretty cool. You know, everyone knows that if there's one thing that Nintendo excels at, it's online compatibility in their games. Right, guys? Compete in weekly world championships. So I guess Nintendo's planning on hosting weekly challenges for this game. We'll see how long that lasts. 150 plus challenges from 13 NES games. So yeah, you don't just get 3 games like the original Championships cartridge had. You get 13 different games. And I'd say that the games that they picked, they make a lot of sense. You know, just from this part of the box, you have Mario, Kirby, that's Princess Peach from Super Mario Bros. 2. I almost called her Metroid. You have Samus from Metroid. It looks like this is Mario's sprite from Donkey Kong. You got Pit from Kid Icarus, and you got Ice Climber. And that's just 7 of the 13 included games. I believe also, if we look at the front, look back at the front here, we also got Mario from Super Mario Bros. 3. We have Link from the original Legend of Zelda. We have a racer from Excite Bike. We have Link from from Zelda 2. And we have a little guy from Balloon Fight here. Speedrun mode. Try to improve your times by practicing offline. Party mode. Host local championships for up to 8 players. So yeah, a lot of cool little stuff going on with this game. But what really interested me about this specific release of the game was all this bullshit. So yeah, of course you get the game. You get the physical Switch game. You get a replica game pack of the original cartridge that they used in the original Nintendo World Championships. It's pretty cool. It's obviously not a real cartridge, but it's a replica. It's still cool. You get a pin set and you get art cards. I believe it comes with cards featuring artwork from all of the 13 NES games represented in this game. Pretty cool stuff. I'm excited to see what all of that stuff looks like when we open up this box. Like I said earlier, Nintendo doesn't really do stuff for their physical releases, at least in this sort of capacity. And I eat this bullshit up for breakfast, so I had to get this. Let's get out my cheap little box cutter here. I actually do want to try to keep this box in good condition, so I want to be extra careful with how I am opening this. All right, let me open the top little flap here. If I can actually, there we go. Ooh, look what we got here. I see that replica cartridge. All right, we got everything out of the box here. I'm just gonna put this to the side. And let's dive into this shit. So first off, we got of course, the game in question. This is obviously the not for resale copy. I'm not using this video as a means of reviewing the actual game. I just want to look at all the external stuff. But yeah, hopefully this is worth the purchase. We got the replica cartridge here, and it even comes in cool little sleeve, reminiscent of the sleeves that the original NES cartridges would come in. Look at that. Nice and gold. Open it up here. Pretty high quality feeling product, if I do say so myself. Yeah, this is pretty bizarre, man. I like this. Look at this, it even has little icons like reminiscent of all the different games in the package. It's pretty cool. Next up, I think these are the art cards. Believe it or not, this is actually the thing I was most excited to have as part of this package. I don't know why, I'm a sucker for like artwork, presented in this kind of form. Look at that. Nice high quality prints of all these NES games. Let me properly go through all these. So we got Super Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Donkey Kong, Kid Icarus, Super Mario Bros. 2, Excite Bike, Ice Climber, Balloon Fight, Super Mario Bros. 3, Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link, Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, and Kirby's Adventure. I actually didn't even know that Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels was represented in this game, but I guess I wouldn't have known that from the cover, because like you know, Mario's sprite in this game is the same as it is in this game. But yeah, these are pretty cool. I didn't even know that they had stuff on the back. Holy shit. Wow, look at that. Got Mario, got Link, Samus, Donkey Kong, Pit, Mario with a little turnip. What was that? Is that the racers from Excitebike? Yeah, I believe his name is Popo, the balloon fight guy. Mario with the raccoon suit, Link from Zelda 2, Luigi, and Kirby. Pretty neat stuff. To end things off here, we have the pin set. These might be more exciting than the art cards for most people. Look at them beauties. I don't know if these are intended to be removed from this little enclosure that they're in, but if they are very hard to get out. Not that I'm really ever gonna need to get these out, but yeah. You got Mario, got Link, got Samus, Donkey Kong, and the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition logo. And to end things off here, I forgot to actually get this out, but you got a little stand for the cartridge. Let's see if I can show this off here. See, you know Nintendo means business when they included a goddamn acrylic stand with their replica cartridge for a seemingly random Switch game. Just imagine this sitting on a shelf surrounded by a bunch of other retro NES memorabilia. So yeah, overall, pretty cool stuff. As a Nintendo fan, I'm pretty happy with all the little stuff that this game came with. I'm pretty excited to give this game a shot. Hopefully it lives up to the NES Remix games. In terms of if I think this was worth the price tag, I mean, you gotta admit, it was pretty commendable of Nintendo to include a free game with their $60 pin set.